Excite.
All the hits.
It's 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Global News from Yesma Radio, the First Media Academy Radio. In the headline, orders overhaul of Nigeria's security apparatus. Another alleged 6.2 billion naira palliative fraud hits NDDC. Obaseki disrespects Oba of Benin, says Oshiomole. Broadcasting stations to pay 5 million naira fine for hate speech. And on the foreign scene, Beirut blast kills more than 100, says Lebanese Red Cross. In the world of sport, Fulham back in the MPL. Now the news in detail. My name is Olatunde Idowu. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the re-engineering of the nation's entire security apparatus. This is according to the National Security Advisor, NSA, Babagana Monguno. Monguno briefed journalists yesterday after the third National Security Council meeting in 2020, chaired by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The nation's security advisor called for calm, promising that the president, along with the service chiefs, is doing a lot to handle the insecurity in the northwest and north central states. He said that apart from the security situation in the country, the issue of drug addiction and trafficking was addressed at the meeting. According to him, Nigeria has moved from a transit hub to a drug production center. He noted that 17 meth labs were recently shut down in the country and called for a wholesome national approach to stopping the drug menace. Also, during the meeting, the heads of various intelligence briefed on their plans towards ending insecurity in the country. The NSA further addressed the recent attack on the Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum and his convoy and the accusation of sabotage in the war of terror by the governor. Let's listen to Baba Gana Moguno as he briefs journalists.
Meeting of the National Security Council presided over by Mr. President, and we had in attendance all the members of the National Security Council. This is the third of such meetings we've had this year. Today's meeting primarily focused on two issues. I presented two memos. The first was on the problem of drug trafficking as well as drug addiction in Nigeria and the widespread use of these substances and the dangerous impact on our socio-economic situation. Thereafter, I briefed on the security situation in the North West and the North Central in terms of looking at the issue of kidnapping and banditry and unbridled killing of innocent people.
Few weeks after the nation was treated to mind-blogging revelations of misappropriation of 1.5 billion naira by the Interim Management Committee, IMC of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, the Federal Government Intervention Agency is in the news again over alleged embezzlement of 6.2 billion naira approved for palliative by President Muhammadu Buhari. Chairman of the Palliative Distribution Committee of the Commission, High Chief Sobomabo Jack Rich, has since petitioned separately the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, asking the duo to investigate the alleged financial recklessness. Jack Rich, in a 12-paragraph petition dated August 3rd, 2020, entitled Demand for Investigation over Alleged Misappropriation and Diversion of 6.2 billion naira NDDC palliative money, claimed that he was sidelined in the procurement and distribution of palliative items to residents of the 9 states covered by the commission. A similar alleged misappropriation of 1.5 billion naira was investigated recently by both chambers of the National Assembly. In the fresh petition, Jack Rich asked the lawmakers to investigate his claim as he dismissed the distribution of the palliative items by the IMC led by Professor Daniel Ponde as a charade. He said, and I quote, "The 6.25 billion naira that was magnanimously approved by President Buhari to help the poor and indigent of the Niger Delta during this difficult period of the pandemic has seriously been allegedly misappropriated and embezzled by the IMC of the NDDC and their co-conspirators." Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has challenged traditional rulers in southern parts of the state to show any piece of land that has been forcibly acquired in their domain or been illegally occupied by anybody or group. The governor challenged the monarchs in the area to support security agencies in restoring peace to their communities. He tasked them to offer inclusive leadership to all the residents in their domain. El-Rufai was reacting to report that some persons had taken over parts of southern Kaduna in the wake of attacks in the area. The governor, who spoke during a meeting of the State Council of Chiefs, said his administration's principle of citizenship is based on residency. He emphasized that the misinformation about the situation in southern Kaduna will not distract him from ending the 4-decade legacy of violent conflicts in the state. El-Rufai regretted that the false claims about land grabbing were made without any evidence in 2016-2017 and were being repeated in the current crisis. The Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Said Abubakar III, and President, Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Reverend Samson Ayokunle, has called on the federal government to put a stop to the proliferation of small arms and light weapons headers and bandits used to attack innocent citizens. The duo, who jointly chair the Nigerian Inter-Religious Council, NIRIC, made the call against the backdrop of the spike in killings and other security threats across the country. A statement signed by NIRIC Executive Secretary Professor Cornelius Omonokua Tuesday quoted both clerics as condemning the unabated carnage on human lives. A cultural dimension has been added to the raging political battle of wits in Edo State ahead of the September 19 poll, following an accusation that Governor Godwin Obaseki committed a taboo by standing before Oba Ewuare of Benin wearing a cap. The allegation was made by his predecessor and now estranged political mentor, Comrade Adams Oshomole, while fielding questions on a talk show. Last week, Governor Obaseki led a group of visiting PDP governors to the palace on a courtesy visit to the Benin monarch before proceeding to the Sam Ogbemude Stadium to launch his campaign for a second term. The visit was, however, marred by violence as People's Democratic Party (PDP) supporters clashed with All Progressive Congress (APC) supporters at the gate as the governor and his guests were exiting the palace, resulting in gunshots. Speaking on Skype from his Auchi country home, Comrade Oshomole condemned Obaseki's action as another demonstration of disrespect, not only for the esteemed Benin palace, but also Edo tradition. The Asian Benin custom forbids subjects from wearing a cap before the Oba, even while obliging them to kneel in obeisance. Information and Cultural Minister Lai Mohammed has said any broadcasting station that broadcasts news considered to convey hate speech will pay 5 million naira and not 500,000 naira fine. The minister spoke in Lagos at the unveiling of the amended 6th edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission Code. He said any airing station will lose its operating license after 3 warnings, while those that rebroadcast foreign news materials that are considered detrimental to national security and interests will be severely penalized. Other provisions of the new code include amendments in the coverage of emergencies, local content, political broadcasting, advertising, and anti-competitive behavior. The amended code prohibits backlog of advertising debts to broadcasting stations in order to promote sustainability for station owners and producers of content. On local content, Mohammed said the provision of exclusivity and monopoly will boost local content and local industry, with the laws prohibiting exclusive use of rights by broadcasters who tend to create monopolies and hold the entire market to themselves. A huge blast at Beirut port that devastated the entire neighborhoods of the city has killed more than 100 people and injured over 4,000, the Lebanese Red Cross said. Rescue workers in Lebanon are searching for more than 100 people who are missing after a huge explosion devastated the port area of the capital Beirut yesterday. The blast killed at least 100 people and injured more than 4,000 others. The whole city was shaken by the explosion, and a mushroom cloud could be seen spreading over the port area. President Michael Aoun said the blast was caused by 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored unsafely in a warehouse. Ammonium nitrate is used as a fertilizer in agriculture and as an explosive. He scheduled an urgent cabinet meeting for today and said a 2-week state of emergency should be declared. The country will observe an official period of mourning for 3 days from today. Still on the foreign scene, at least 5 people have been killed as tropical storm Isaias swept through U.S. states on the Atlantic coast. 2 died when a tornado struck a mobile home park in Northern Carolina, and at least 3 more were killed in New York, Delaware, and Maryland. Isaias has since moved into southeastern Canada and been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. The Canadian Hurricane Center has warned of heavy rainfall over southern Quebec. The night-named storm of the year, Isaias hit Puerto Rico, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic with hurricane-strength winds last week, killing at least 2 people. It uprooted trees, destroyed crops and homes, and caused floodings and landslide. It was downgraded to a tropical storm after passing over the Caribbean, but was recategorized as a Category 1 hurricane as it approached the Carolinas on Monday. Going straight to the world of sport, Fulham beat Brentford in the Championship playoff final to secure an immediate return to the Premier League thanks to 2 extra time goals from Joe Bryan. The left-back caught Bees goalkeepers David Raya off guard with a free kick from 40 yards in the 105th minute of the game at Wembley, with the Spaniard expecting a cross and then unable to scamper back and save Bryan's skidding low effort. With the Bees pouring forward in search of an equalizer, Bryan burst forward and combined with Alexander Mitrovic before stabbing past Raya to make the game safe with 3 minutes remaining. Henrik Dalsgaard pulled a goal back with a header from 80 yards out in the 4th minute of our comeback. The goals from Bryan were 2 rare moments of quality and quick thinking in an otherwise cagey counter between the 2 West London rivals, which finished goalless after 90 minutes. And that'll be all on Global News, but before I go, let me bring you a recap of the stories I brought to you earlier. In the news, we told you that Buhari orders overhaul of Nigeria's security apparatus. Another alleged 6.2 billion naira palliative fraud hits NDDC. Obaseki disrespects Oba of Benin, says of Shomole. Broadcasting station to pay 5 million naira fine